Hey, family, and welcome to Dwell According to Knowledge, the talk show. I am your host and your coach, Trey. Now, listen, our lesson for today is 5 things that will completely destroy your relationship. 5 things that will completely destroy your relationship. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff that'll destroy, but I just picked out 5 of the many that can destroy them. And I try to step outside the box when I'm giving my information and that kind of stuff. I don't want to say what a whole lot of other people are saying. I don't want, but a lot of this stuff that you're going to see, I mean, you're going to hear it anyway, with other guys that are doing the same thing that I'm doing the same thing they're doing. And even women too, they'll pick other ones on there. They'll do the same thing. But the bottom line is the information, and of course, if all of us are saying the same thing, then there must be some truth in it. Okay, so now let's get to number 1 here. Now, the one thing that will definitely destroy your relationship is how much money you have or don't have. And I'm going to read this. Do you have a student loan debt that you're slowly, surely paying off? The collection of credit card bills with late payment fees? These are the types of things that you shouldn't hide. Couples need to be honest about financial issues that could put them at risk to damaging the credit. Look, what did they said something about how marriage, once you marry a person, you say that, what's yours is mine and mine is yours. I'm serious. And that's where you come into a relationship knowing and understanding and practicing that it's no longer about you. And on their end, it's no longer about them. So everything that you got goes into one bucket, one pail, one pocket, one bank account. You know what I mean? So don't not divulge, those things that you have in the financial arena, because a lot of people haven't paid their taxes. They owe a whole bunch, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 year credit cards. We've already discussed that one. They could be real big. Student loans, huge stuff like that. Bankruptcies, foreclosures, back child support, anything that may be considered that can wind up being detrimental to your health, because you can't actually contribute to the thing if you owe all your money out. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to straighten it up and then get our credit scores to a point where, hey, if anything happens in that relationship, like that's marriage, y'all, everything will be cleaned up. You understand? All right, let's get to number 2 here. Hoo-wee. I'm going to just say it just like this. Sexual history. Your sexual history. Okay? For similar reason, you should be upfront about your past bedroom escapades. Okay? There are people who are in relationships for a long time and have not revealed to their partners, not even for a long time, but even like in the beginning. Okay? That they got STDs and diseases and things like that could, really kind of put a damper on and can get you hurt too if you're passing along stuff that that's deemed very detrimental to another person. I mean, I've heard where there was a lady that caught the HIV thing, and she got so pissed off that she decided that she wanted to pass it on to some other folks. So of course when they caught her, it was attempted murder. One, and I mean like 5 or 6 things of attempted murder, because once they caught her, all the other guys that she had been with came forth. It's like 6 dudes, in the court building. They all going, yeah. So you make that thing plain. You understand? All right. You don't need to go into detail, but you do need to reveal. Okay. Number 3, big mistakes, and I mean like those big, humongous ones. The number 1 thing is cheating. Okay, if you've ever cheated on your significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or whatever else, you need to let that go. I'm talking about let the information flow, go to whoever it is that decides that they want to be with you. Okay, so it's one of the biggest relationship killers out there, and lying about it just makes everything worse. The same goes for being unfaithful in just about any way. You understand? Now, taking a big chunk of money out of your account and spending it without consulting your partner is another huge mistake. It's called stealing, yo. But before you do anything, ask yourself if you would tell the truth about this to your partner. If the answer is no, think long and hard about it, okay? So just, don't go around there making a whole bunch of big mistakes. Matter of fact, one big mistake could kill your relationship, okay? All right, let's hit the number 3 here. No, 4. Sorry. Now, current relationships, satisfaction or dissatisfaction or unsatisfaction, so to speak, okay? Feeling loved and emotionally fulfilled is an indication that you're in a good relationship. The same goes for physical satisfaction. So it's important not to lie when it comes to feeling in sync with your partner. It's terrible to fake it in bed all the time and say you're having great, well, let's say orgasm, and when in fact you're not experiencing that. I tell you, there are 3. Well, let me say for me, there are 3 levels that, like in my relationships and even when I was married, there are content, I'm satisfied, I'm fulfilled. Now, the bottom line is you want to go from being content to being fulfilled, where you get yourself to a point where everything is flowing physically in your relationship. You're not having any need to go out and test the waters, see if the grass is green on the other side, or have any need for spoil. You understand? Because everything you need is already at home. You get it? That goes for women too. Okay? All right, let's get to number 5 here. This is, this one here is a very, this is touchy for me because this is one of the things that kind of destroyed my marriages. Okay? And I've been in 2. Okay? All right. Any past physical, emotional, and mental traumas. Okay? Look, make sure if you've suffered any past traumas and have long-term or short-term effects from them, you need to reveal this to your partner, okay? Even in the beginning, you may feel it may be a little bit too early in the relationship that you might want to reveal it, but in the long run, you better let that thing go. You better let him know, or her know. Make sure you do that. We all have to be able to feel comfortable enough to do that. One of the ways that I try to make my my partner or whoever I'm trying to date or anything like that is I'll reveal mine first. That way it makes it comfortable enough for them. Like if I had any past traumas, I let you know, and then that should open you up for you to go to your past traumas, and then we can go from there. Okay? If you're uncomfortable with telling. It would be wise to say that right now it's uncomfortable for you to talk about it, but you promise to tell at a later date, okay? Now, make sure that you do that because it's going to come back up, and there's nothing worse than a trauma popping up later without notice, okay? Because a lot of people not going to go for that because you know why? Because it feels like you're being, you're being untruthful, like you told a flat out lie, and that breaks trust, okay? So you want to make sure that any past traumas, especially like those things that make you like like verbally, mentally, and physically abused, got cheated on. How do you feel about that later on? Like if someone's always downed you verbally and stuff like that, so now you got some kind of problem with your with how you look, that kind of stuff. Someone cheated on you, so now you have some emotional stuff going on to where you see a certain thing and all of a sudden, it can become crazy. If you had any physical stuff like any, been hospitalized for something, you got some trauma, a head injury or a back injury or something like that. These things need to be known because a person, especially men, we're going to base a decision on what we know. And you don't come. When he comes to you and say, "Hey, listen, I got this ring. could you marry me? And all of a sudden you going, hoo, and you so boo-hooed about it that you say yeah. And you have not told him. You got back injury, so you can't like supposed to, or you got a brain thing, or you got something, you messed up with your body in some kind of way. You think you're gonna slide the rest of the marriage without revealing, without telling, without any of that stuff, and all of a sudden it comes up. Now he can't handle it, and now he wants out. Make sure that you let those people know. All right, I hope you got something from that. Now, if you like what you saw, hey, subscribe, share it, and like it. Okay? And I'll see you in the next video.